Welcome to the Nailed It podcast. I'm Xavier.
I'm Michael.
I'm David.
Wow, it's the first.
That is a first.
What do you mean it's first?
Usually you say like I am like always David or I am David.
Or you say it twice.
Yeah.
No, I never do that.
We have evidence.
There's no evidence.
At least for
so
now.
So much evidence.
There's no evidence. Show me it right now.
I can't while we're recording.
See, there you go.
No, hold on, pause it. The opportunity to prove David wrong is in front of us. Never pass this up.
But as we've shown it before...
It's just, the opportunity is passing. If you don't do it now, then
I'm video evidence that will be going up after I fix it because I messed up.
That's true, too.
That's true. That's true. Are you going to take that down, or...?
It's already taken down.
Okay.
Solid.
Right. Perfect timing on the podcast. So if it sounds better, we are in a different location, so there will not be any interruptions from yelling roommates or dogs.
There might be a rogue parent.
A rogue parent?
Yeah.
Sounds like a weird movie.
Because we're living the dream and recording in my parents' basement.
It sounds sad when you put it
I
like
know,
that.
that's why I said it. Luckily, I don't live here, but we do visit and
It's a
record
nice
here.
basement.
Yeah.
We can see exactly where the closet where Michael was kept when he was in
Well, he told me before you got here that his parents gave up his room immediately.
It's made me very sad because my brother still has a room, and my brother's married and a Marine and living in California.
Yeah, but he might come back soon.
Yeah, but meanwhile,
you still live here.
Meanwhile, the son who lives in state, no,
like 3 houses away.
Yeah, my room was changed almost immediately.
Fun.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So how's your guys' week's been?
It's been good. I had a good week, other than the Falcons losing the Super Bowl. Which
that was the best part of my week.
Absolutely devastating.
Actually, see, the problem is I was not rooting for the Patriots.
Who were you rooting for? Were you yourself?
No.
Lady Gaga.
She won.
Disappointment.
She won my heart.
You sounded disappointed.
You did sound very
I
disappointed.
was disappointed. No, I was rooting. The only reason I would have normally rooted for the Falcons, but since Michael was a fan, I couldn't just get myself to root for them.
Out of sheer spite, you voted for no one.
Yeah, I did. I said, if you guys could both come together and everybody loses somehow, like maybe there's a nuclear explosion or something like that.
That's excessive.
That is very excessive.
It needs
Actually,
to
I'd
happen.
get rid of part of Texas. No. I have family in Texas, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so nothing stood out particularly that happened in your week, Michael?
No,
what about you?
I got to play the For Honor beta, which was exciting. It's actually pretty good. It has its glitches because it's a beta.
Right.
Mostly just server issues where the games
drop.
drop.
I thought you were talking about like a fish, like a beta fish.
No.
Those are really lame fish.
They are really lame fish.
Have you ever had a beta?
We are 3 minutes in, and you've already derailed this man's conversation topic.
No, it's good. Let's talk about beta fish for a while. That's a hot topic
I
right now.
refuse.
Hot Topic? I haven't been to a Hot Topic in years.
See what you're doing.
I get Pop Dolls from Hot Topic.
You get what?
Pop Dolls? The little pop
okay,
figures?
yeah. I would get maybe records.
Oh, okay.
They still have those.
I collect the
You
Star
get new
Wars
records
Pop Dolls.
there. Did you know that? You look really confused.
No, I just would like to stay on topic.
It makes him angry.
It does.
So continue.
Yeah. Well, okay, besides the server issues that For Honor's having where it drops occasional games, which I'm not sure if they're dedicated server, but last I read they weren't, so I think it's just like an internet problem or like the host of the game leaves or whatever, so I don't know if that's a problem that's going to be addressed and fixed, because the game does release this Tuesday on the 14th.
Right.
So
out of the three, between the Viking, the Knight, and the Samurai, who did you pick?
I picked the Samurai.
There's a Viking.
There's a Viking class, a Knight class, and a Samurai class.
They
all have 4 subclasses.
I don't know anything about this game. What's this game about?
It's just like it's a person versus person arena where it's 4 versus 4, and then you have like little computer controlled minions in it.
Oh, okay.
And then they have different game modes where it's not always 4 versus 4. It can be 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2, but they don't have like the capture points or anything. You just brawl. Like it's just a fight. And then there's 4 subclasses for each of those 3 classes. And so I picked the Samurai not knowing really anything about it. I hadn't looked into it, but it's been pretty fun so far. I've enjoyed the game. I think the gameplay is pretty smooth. The level of difficulty keeps you intrigued and keeps you coming back.
Okay.
So I've enjoyed it.
Is it like an easier Dark Souls for you?
Yeah. Mostly because the people you're fighting actually give you a chance to fight back.
So it's like Dark Light.
It's like dark... No, you'd have to go with the opposite of Souls, not light.
Souls Light.
No, light Souls is
Dark,
right. You could...
Dark Light, Souls Light.
You ran out of joke time.
Me.
But no, it's been fun. It is kind of the fighting style is kind of like Dark Souls. It reminds me of Dark Souls. But yeah, I've definitely enjoyed it more because I haven't died as much.
There you go.
Yeah, I've heard when you get to play a game longer, it's funner.
Yeah, without being decimated by your opponent.
That's why I don't play Call of Duty anymore.
Spend too much time on the gray screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I could be playing the game, but, I want to be on my phone more, I guess, you know, since everybody's like, respawn, you're dead.
Yeah, that's how Call of Duty seems to get now.
Mm-hmm. So what about you, David? How was your week?
My week was terrible.
Yeah?
I just worked a lot. Mm-hmm. I had to get up super early and do work things.
Did the snow ruin your week at all?
It did not.
I mean, the beginning of the week.
Oh.
Did you make it to work?
I
both
did.
Days? Oh. I didn't make it to work Tuesday.
I drove from Enumclaw all the way to Bellevue at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
Why
are you working like that?
In snow.
Yeah, why are you?
Wasn't that the whole point of getting away?
What?
From our overlords?
Our previous jobs, wasn't it not to do that?
Well, I got off around 1.
No, that's fair, I guess.
So.
Yeah, we never used to do that.
The other job, I would start same time, but I would get off.
If you did.
I would get off around 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
When it was still dark again.
Yeah, it was dark again, and that's really the most depressing thing about life is when you start early in the morning when it's dark, and then you get off, and it's dark, and you're just like, oh.
Tell me about it. Yeah. So Sunday night, I was kind of just chilling at home, catching up on stuff, editing this, that, and the other, and
how's the editing going?
It sucks. I'm editing like 18 different projects at once now. It's a bit stressful, and my eyes hurt now when I stare at screens for too long. So,
we only give you like 3 or 4 projects.
Yeah, it's only you guys, but you forget about like the other 6 things that
I didn't forget. I was going on priority.
Oh,
I was getting to that.
I just don't care about
the
other.
Of course you don't. But Sunday night, it starts snowing. I'm kind of like laying in bed, like watching Resident Evil 7 videos. By the way, that game is amazing.
No, I can't wait to play.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, and
it looks.
I can't wait until you die.
Oh, I'll die a lot. Because I hate scary games, so I'm gonna regret.
I love them.
I stopped playing Resident Evil after Resident Evil, I believe, 2.
Yeah.
Whichever one that starts off where you basically are in a house and you're walking around for like an hour and a half or 2 hours.
It's Resident Evil 1.
Is it 1?
Yeah. Like you immediately start out in a mansion in Resident Evil 1.
It's something like that where you're just walking around forever, and then all of a sudden you go into one room and a dog jumps through the window.
Oh, that could be either.
I think that's 2.
Well, because I think that happens in Resident Evil 1 as well.
Maybe, I don't know. And then because it builds up with all this music all over the place. Right. You go to touch something, it goes,
you hear that crescendo, and then you want to drop the controller
then you're like,
and turn it off.
Right, and then after like an hour and a half of that, walking around going, okay, and then all of a sudden this dog jumps through the window, and it's like the bloody dog or whatever, and you're just like, all right, I'm done.
That's all I needed.
But yeah,
I know a lot of people that quit that game at that moment.
Yeah, it was like snowing, and I talked to my roommate who I work with, and he's like, "Yeah, there's a possibility that we might not be going to work tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay, that's a fine. That just means I can edit more, and that's okay." So then next day I get up, it's still snowing, and I'm waiting for him to get a text from him. He's like, "Okay, we're gonna try and leave, and if we don't make it out of the driveway, we're not going anywhere." We made it out of the driveway. Went to go pick up our coworker. And then we got stuck in his driveway. And so we pushed it out. We made it to work. And then we get an email from everybody else. So like a total of like maybe 10 other people that work with us.
Right.
Like, yeah, we can't get out.
Right.
So there was 3 of us at our job. for like 4 hours, and then we just went home.
You guys can't drive in snow. It's very sad.
My car doesn't drive in snow at all.
It's really sad. Washington.
I still went to work.
When it comes to Washington people and snow, like every time it snowed, I always get calls from people. I'm sorry, I can't make it out of my driveway. How could you not make it out of your driveway?
I still went to work.
Have you seen this driveway?
Still easy.
It's fine, just Tokyo
And you
Drift
don't
around.
live here.
But what else happened? Oh yeah, I went bowling. It was pretty fun.
What'd you bowl?
Huh?
What'd you bowl?
I don't remember.
280?
We played 2 games. But
Combined, 280 combined.
That's
3
still
games.
impressive for me. 140 a game.
140?
Oh, you said 3 games?
Yeah.
2 games.
2 games. See, so it'd be 140 a game. That's okay for me. I would be pretty happy.
Well, no. So at the end, we were on our
I
last
need to go
game,
bowling.
and we were trying to finish off the pitcher of beer that my friend brought.
Right.
So I was gonna go run to grab a cup from the bar, and it was like my turn to bowl. So I went, I bowled it, and I started running away, and I got a strike. So like, you gotta come back. I'm like, okay, we're on the last frame.
Right.
So I come back and I bowl again, I get another strike as I'm trying to run away. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I should try this time. And then I get like 8 pins, and I'm like, it's because I didn't want the beer that I didn't get a 3rd strike, and I was really sad.
You just gotta know to run away when you
Right,
attempt
but
something.
then I was like, me and my friend were just being very competitive, and I
Right.
literally lost to him by 2 points.
Oh.
And it made me really angry. And I'm like, it's whatever. I'll just
He got
beat you.
60. The other one got 60 something.
It was like
really
no,
close.
he got
2 points
100
would be
and
62.
he got
That's right.
116, and I got like 114.
Oh, okay.
You're so good with math.
Yeah, I can add 2 to any number you give me. Try me.
61 and 66.
Wait.
Are you what? Okay.
Yes.
Anyways, but besides
Man,
that,
I'm gonna leave off that note because it's the greatest
My
moment of my life.
calculator died. I'm not sure where we were going.
so I was, and then last night I was like, I wanted to go out, but I'm like, my stomach hurts, so I don't want to do that.
Right.
So I just laid in bed and caught up on like Flash and Arrow till like 2:30 in the morning.
There you go.
'Cause I couldn't stop, and I'm like, I forgot how much I love this show because I've been like 6 episodes behind on each of them,
Right.
and things got really intense. Because like
Things escalate quickly
well,
on
because
that show.
when Arrow first came out, it was in my opinion it was super cool because it's kind of like Green Arrow in the DC universe isn't, at least from what I've seen, isn't all that serious all the time. He's a dude in a Robin Hood getup with like a crazy mustache and a really obvious goatee that if anybody saw him outside of his costume was like, oh, you must be the Green Arrow.
Yeah, but that's what they thought about Superman.
Yeah.
He just wore glasses.
Yeah, and then
He slicked back his hair.
They changed the continuity on that, where like if he wore the glasses, it changed the configuration of his face, so it makes him look different.
Oh.
They changed that, like they changed the continuity on that, so it's like, oh, people are not as stupid. But
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with
Like he
Arrow,
puts him on, and all of a sudden he's black. It's weird.
nope. There is a black Superman.
See, that's what happened.
No, and he's the president in a different universe.
What?
Yeah. But
Obama is
I'm pretty.
Superman.
I mean,
That's what I just heard.
pretty much.
Interesting.
But yeah, so
Obama was president of this universe.
Oh,
was the president.
I said
of
was.
so if there's a different universe, there's got to be an Obama that was Superman.
It is a possibility due to multiple
It is.
Earths.
First of all, it's not a possibility. It happened, and I want to
When?
find out about it.
You want to find out about
We got to go to another dimension.
Do you have that type of technology? And
I'm-
don't say yes.
All of Enum Claw does.
How?
Oh, Enum Claw.
Enum Claw of all places.
Well, see, when you crossbreed the chicken species,
How-
and you throw it into the bar, not gently,
And
let
then
them
you
walk.
eat the egg that comes from that
Right,
cross
it
generation.
opens up a time
I don't-
space portal.
I don't understand how you can ask me if I have one and then say no, you don't.
Because I know you don't.
You don't know that.
I do.
It could be a different me that's here this time.
No,
From a
you're the
different
same
dimension.
You're
you.
telling me that every one of you from every universe is this annoying?
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
I
for a
hope
minute.
so.
I hope so.
You're the one consistent fact out of every multiverse.
Yep.
David.
I'm
that is just
basically-
annoying to a T.
Yep, and that's probably what holds the universe together.
I don't believe
is
that.
the fact that all of us are the same, and Michael's a little bit different.
No.
What? You can't whisper. I don't understand it.
But yeah, like
I'm still trying to add 61 plus 2 and 66 plus 2. I'll catch up eventually.
So when I first started watching Arrow, it was more brooding. Like he was kind of like a Batman type character that just kind of went to kill. And then they kind of introduced the Flash, and then Arrow just got more lighthearted, which is something that I was like, really didn't enjoy all that much.
You don't enjoy him getting lighthearted?
No.
Or you didn't enjoy his concept?
Xavier doesn't like nice people. That's the thing. If he's friendly,
Xavier's a pretty nice person.
He is a very nice person.
Thank you.
But he doesn't. He likes to surround himself with terrible people. That's why we're
here. I understand now. I get it.
I'm not gonna say no.
Just take it as a soft yes.
Yeah,
it's just kind of, he enjoys the abuse.
Right, but it was just like
is this an abusive relationship for you?
It was more lighthearted compared to like the character in the beginning, who was just like this rough dude who's been like been through all this crap.
Right.
And then he comes back and it's like, oh, we're just not killing anybody anymore. But I can understand why. Right. It's like, oh, you're killing people. It's against the law. You're a vigilante. We need to bring you in type of deal. And they got way past that. And then with this season of Arrow, it's kind of, it started off really and then now it's like going in back to where kind of it was. Oh, okay. Because like the way that the show works is that it tells you.
So it kind of got dark for a minute.
Yeah.
Now it's coming back.
Yeah, and it tells you the story of Oliver Queen as he is the Arrow now, right. And then it tells his past that happened the 5 years he was supposedly on the island, which is
for the most part, if you watch the show, it is like 90% just the Batman story.
Pretty much when it hits season 2, yeah.
What show? Arrow, right?
Because some of the characters they bring in, I was like, that guy's in Batman, that guy's in Batman, that happens to Batman.
They just like mixed the persona of Bruce Wayne Batman with Oliver Queen and just made Arrow. Oh. And then it's just.
So have you seen it then?
I've seen up to a certain point, and then I got behind on. Because I was watching it on Hulu, and then that season ended, and then I went to go back and watch some of the other ones the original ones on Netflix, and then when I got caught back all the way up, then I was so far behind in Hulu that I couldn't watch it anymore because if you get past like 4 or 5 episodes, then they don't show you the first 2 or 3 episodes.
It also doesn't help that the CW contract with Hulu and I believe Netflix just got. It was terminated as soon as like Supergirl got ported over to the CW, so you can't watch it anymore, anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
So did you enjoy it while you were watching it until that came up?
It's an okay show. It's decent.
Well, it wasn't obviously worth the trouble of getting it.
The Flash
after it was free.
In my opinion, the Flash is better.
The
Flash is way better than
I've heard
Arrow.
good things about that. I still haven't watched it.
Xavier loves Flash.
I love Flash. No, but like. It feels good. I mean, in season 3, I believe, of Arrow, they introduced a very prominent character to the Batman storyline, who is Ra's al Ghul, or Raj, whatever people want to pronounce it.
Ra's al Ghul.
Anyways,
Rachel Ghul.
Rachel Ghul.
And he's part of the League of Shadows, right. The League of Assassins. He's like, we are essentially Batman, but we kill people instead of sending them to prison. Right. And
he was the guy who trained Batman in the new Batman.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I know.
And he was in the animated series, which they did basically the entire episode that was from the animated series and did it on the Arrow.
Yeah. So instead of Bruce Wayne being part of...
wanting to be brought in as a new Raj.
They took...
Rachel al Ghul.
Yeah. They got Oliver Queen to do it. And they introduced... Nyssa Al Ghul, who is a very minor character in the DC universe, and then in this season of Arrow, they brought in.
She works in mines. This is a minor character.
Oh, I get it. Your joke was dumb.
and then they brought in Talia Al Ghul, who was in the Batman movies. They brought in Talia Al Ghul as the person who trains Oliver Queen in this season to become the Arrow, and it's like. All right, DC, I get it that you have certain liberties or certain properties that you can't bring onto the screen. Like, there was a show way back, I think in the early aughts, called Birds of Prey, which is supposed to be like Barbara Gordon as
it's Batgirl.
Yeah. Oh, Barbara Gordon, who was Batgirl.
It's Batgirl and Catwoman.
Catwoman, Black Canary, Huntress, it's all that, and they just like they had to one of the big problems or one of the big deals of the Birds of Prey with Barbara Gordon be put in the wheelchair is the Killing Joke, which we talked about on the podcast.
Right.
Like, literally shoots her in the spine. They have a minor cameo of the Joker, but you can't do that because of his name is so big, and you have to get the rights to it.
Right.
And that's what they're kind of doing with this. Like, we can show everybody from Batman, but Batman. They even bring in Mark Hamill, who was the voice of the Joker on the animated series.
But no, here's the thing. He was the trickster in the original Flash series.
Right, but then they did an episode of The Flash
where he was the trickster.
Right, they did it in Earth 2 with the with Jay Garrick as the Flash, and he looks just like the Joker.
Yeah.
And he's still the trickster. They are literally going to that line and staring at it like intensely about what they can and cannot do.
Which the trickster, Mark Hamill's character on the original Flash series, was the best part of that whole series. It was awesome. He did such a good job as the trickster.
I'm gonna have to look.
And that's why they brought him back.
Yeah.
Though the show was terrible, because it was
I saw the costume of the old Flash compared to the new Flash, and
which the old Flash is his dad in the new series.
Jay Garrett from Earth 2. Right. Like, they do a lot of cameos. And if you look at the suit of the old Flash,
right,
it looks like those Halloween costumes that parents get for the kids, where it's like just immediately like beefed up with all the abs.
Right.
It looks just like that. It's hilarious.
It's like how I look normally.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like with one of the suits.
Right.
I look like that without a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
You can tell. Right?
He has a fun mirror at home.
Yeah. And
I like to have it say it's an activity mirror.
Oh,
it's not fun.
That's gross.
I don't
want to know what you do in front of your mirror.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I just caught up on a bunch of DC shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How come they are able to get DC shows correct, but they can't even get close on the movies?
My personal opinion on that is because they want to tell...
No, I want to find out Michael's opinion.
Okay. No, I don't have one. Go.
My opinion on it is that I think is that they're trying to tell a very long storyline in a 1.5 to 2 hour block, which is not good for DC.
That's what a lot of people have thought, is that they should have done a lead up to...
I feel like they... One, I would have bought Ben Affleck as Batman if they would have had a Batman movie before.
Mm-hmm.
The Batman versus Superman.
Right.
Superman movies I thought were okay by themselves. They were what they were. They were okay movies.
Yeah.
They're good. I like the fact that in they didn't spend a lot of time Superman growing up. They spent a little bit more time on Krypton because they never tell that story. It's just always... Here you go, just go into space. Apparently,
here's our baby.
Here's our baby.
Once there was a planet named Krypton,
right?
And then it just exploded.
Right.
Not anymore. Anyway, there was this kid.
So there's a kid, and he's flowing through space.
They even made that like reference in Megamind with that same exact deal. Like the planet was blowing up.
They did.
Right. It's just like
that movie is pretty funny. By the way.
It is a funny movie, but all the time you're like, what happened on Krypton?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
It's just. Well, we had a baby. The world's, I think, is going to end. Let's just shoot him out in space. Good luck, baby.
Yeah. Good luck, baby. I mean, so that's kind of like why I like Supergirl right now.
They didn't even give him food
or
water.
It's exactly that. Like, you get stories of
he landed in a farm. There was going to be food when he got there.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's why I like Supergirl, because it's like it tells partially the story of what happened on Krypton before it
text the old people on Earth. They're like, we have a baby.
He's going to be really hungry.
He's going to be really hungry. And he doesn't like green things. Green shiny things.
That's mean.
But yeah, and with like the DC shows, it's just they have a longer time to tell a story. That's why the old Justice League cartoon, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, was really good. Because you could tell an overarching story. Same with Young Justice, which it needs a season 3, because that show is really good. I recommend watching it. You know, it's like, and then with the Marvel stuff, it's like people know the stories, but they can make it work. Like Days of Future Past, like that movie, is based off of like a 2-issue comic book. It's like mutants didn't work, they were getting eliminated, and then this happened.
Right.
But
For the X-Men?
Yeah.
I would say the X-Men universe as a whole is terrible.
that's why they're killing them off right now in the comic books.
So that's what I mean. Like the whole, all the movies, for the most part, I can't go back and watch. I watch them like once, maybe twice, and I go, I don't ever want to see this again.
It's not good for a movie.
X2 is really good though.
No, but it's a decent movie, but you're not going to go like, okay, what am I going to watch today? I have 1,000-something movies over here, or I have X-Men 2 here.
You have too many movies.
I don't have too many movies. Which do you think I'm going to choose? I'm not going to choose X-Men.
Well, you just answered your own question.
No, but any good movie is something I want to go back to.
Okay.
You
So
watch Skylanders.
That's
Okay, so would you say that only about the X-Men movies or multiple Marvel movies as well? Could you go back and watch the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk?
Yeah,
No.
I could. I couldn't watch the other one. I like the Edward Norton one because, one, they didn't spend a lot of times how he became the Hulk or whatever. It was just basically pictures of this is how it happened and he's on the run. And I enjoyed that they just did the quick version of that.
Okay.
And
I just don't like any of the Hulk movies.
I like
the Hulk. I don't like the movies.
I like
That are
Edward
about
Norton
him.
as the Hulk, and I thought he did a good job. I thought the protagonist on that was. It really annoys me that they go, okay, you got this guy with superpowers, so the only thing we can do is I guess we'll just create somebody else with the exact same powers, and they'll fight each other out.
And we'll control that one.
Right. Right.
Oh,
We
exactly.
got it this time,
But
guys.
instead
We
of-
promise.
Right.
But instead of a scientist this time, let's make him a criminal or like a hardened
Right.
soldier.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what they always do. It's like, okay, so you got the Hulk that did that, you got Iron Man that did that, you got Ant-Man that did
I
that.
guess you can technically say Captain America as well with the Winter Soldier.
Right. Captain America does it.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of them do it. It's really annoying that they do that. Like, you can't figure out somebody else that... I guess that's the hard thing to do, is come up with an actual protagonist that is worth fighting and what their motive is.
You mean antagonist?
Yes,
Okay.
antagonist.
Did you see they just started filming for Infinity War?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, they just came out with like their very first trailer, but it's not really a trailer. It's kind of like this is us starting.
People were losing their mind for the fact that they saw Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, and the Thor guy. I can't remember the Thor's last name.
All on the same.
Yeah,
side.
all on the
I'm
same
going to say his
set.
name's Chris, too, because the other two were Chris.
No,
Yeah, it's like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Hemsworth. That's what it is. Yeah, so,
I'm bad with actors and names.
That's
so
fine.
That was a shot in the dark.
It's like, I didn't really care for the Thor movies. Like,
They
honestly,
were okay. I thought they were.
the
pretty
first Thor movie was terrible.
I would say this.
Okay, I'll
First
give you
Thor-
that one.
First Thor movie was decent. It was okay. The second one
Give
was
that one too much leeway.
absolutely terrible.
Was it?
It was so
I
bad.
didn't watch the second one because the first one was trash.
See, I thought the first one was bad and the second one was good,
See, I thought
or at least better than okay.
the
enjoyed
first
it.
one was okay, but it was like they had no budget, so they did.
Yeah, it was a fight out in the desert.
It was
with,
a
like,
fight
this
out in the desert.
Diner you could tell was one-sided.
Right. Right. It was like fought in like the old western towns
drove
that were
around in
like
a
there's
van,
right
yeah.
there's no backings to any of these
And like
houses
the,
or anything
the
like
only
that.
good part of that movie was the fight scene in the rain, which was clearly fan service for women when Chris Hemsworth will drop kick a soldier in some mud.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. For women and David.
I know, right? But yeah, well, because like I gave Captain America like the second one a shot because I was like,
Captain America 2 was good.
Captain America 2 was great.
The first one
was terrible.
Terrible, and that's because
It was just a lead up. It was
Well,
a lead
that-
up for the Avengers.
the frustrating thing about Captain America 1 is the first hour is really well filmed, really well put together, and it's got a lot of detail in it. And then the last half, they're like, we went a little too long on the first part. We
So
gotta
go
wrap
kick
this
all
up.
those guys in that factory's ass in like 15 minutes.
Right.
We gotta go. Let's
Right.
go,
It was
people.
basically this much of the movie, like all this was built up to him hanging out in the army And then this much of the movie is
By the way, the
him.
microphone can totally see your hands.
Yeah, I know. They can see
Right.
our hands. Anyways, there's a certain space where, like, okay, more than half of the movie is him just getting to the point where he's just like, I'm Captain America.
That's how they all
That
are.
is
That's how it's supposed to be.
literally the way that Assassin's Creed went.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, but I'm just gonna before we move on, that is the solution to why the Batman vs Superman movie, in your words, sucked, is because they needed to spread it out.
No, but you
you're
gotta,
but then
you gotta even it out, and then
they did with the second movie. They didn't do any of the intro.
Right.
Well, they did on the back half where they
But it was
was
like-
how the Winter Soldier for Captain America.
Okay.
like Captain America, you can tell when they got to the last, half of the movie, they go, we have to wrap this up now because we got to start shooting this other film.
Right.
And basically, it felt like, because there's like one scene where they're like, okay, how are we going to take out the bad guys? And then the next thing, they're riding motorcycles. There's bad guys chasing them, and you're like, wait a second, what is going on here? How did we get to this point?
He got on a motorcycle.
Oh, of course, but there's bad guys. There's already bad guys behind him, and he's throwing things at things, and he's jumping over, and there's explosion, and you're just like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then the next thing you know, he's got a big army of people, and they're busting into this building, and then...
It literally just like, oh man, we don't have much time to hit the montage button. And
Right.
there you go.
That's basically what it was. It was set up.
But I guess I can see where you're coming from with, like, it's like, oh, we have this giant beginning. Because it's the same with Iron Man. Iron Man was like... Yeah, but Iron Man 1 was amazing.
Iron Man was awesome.
Yeah, it was
Iron Man
awesome.
2 was not. And I haven't seen 3 yet.
3 was okay.
He was okay.
And, I mean...
Three was better than 2. 2 wasn't great. I didn't like the...
Whiplash was terrible.
Yeah.
I
didn't
see,
like
I'm
him.
fine with it.
And I didn't like his story.
I don't like Mickey Rourke. That's all my issue is. I don't like
I
Mickey
just didn't
Rourke.
like his story and how it came into it.
I like the... As long as I'm entertained, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it somewhat makes sense. That movie made sense. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it's just... And I think Tony Stark or whatever, Robbie Downey Jr., he does an amazing job. And he's just fun to watch either way for me. So
I enjoy
just watching
him.
him in movies is fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the plot isn't the greatest.
Even if he's impersonating a black man in Tropic Thunder.
Yep.
That's amazing.
It is really good.
Don't you ever say anything bad about
No,
that
I
movie.
love that movie.
Yeah, Robert Downey
What do you
Jr.
mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people? It's just so
It's like, could you guys ever think of anybody that could replace Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man?
No.
It's just
He's
like...
just become Tony Stark.
Exactly. It's just like, I can't... Like, don't get me wrong, the X-Men movies were not great, They've had their moments, but I couldn't think of anybody else that could replace Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Right. Yeah, no, Hugh Jackman
No,
is Logan.
that's the frustrating thing is like, they have the perfect Wolverine.
Yeah.
Perfect. But they use him completely wrong. And they use all the characters... No,
There's at least 12 scenes where he's running up to the camera with his arms flexed.
I know.
How is that not using him right? Yeah.
And it's like, it's not even like running like this. It's like...
Arms like this, or he
Yeah.
has them out and he's like dragging his claws through something.
Oh, yeah.
So
and,
his arms are just
Origins,
bulking
where he's
and-
like opening up the cage, kind of like looking back and forth and like across the screen.
Right.
just right at the camera. It's
But-
in every one of those movies at least a few times.
If you look like that, wouldn't you do that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying
There
they're
you go.
using him right. You're
Exactly.
saying they're not.
No.
I'm saying they're using him
like,
perfectly.
story-wise, like, a lot of the stories, like, Wolverine Origins or whatever,
It's just terrible.
like,
Yeah,
it's just,
not
it's
good.
a bad movie. And then you mess up Deadpool, you sew his mouth together,
And
you
then
give
you-
him laser eye
And
vision.
they redid that with Deadpool, and they made sure they made fun of that.
Right, I know.
Oh yeah, he was
love
like,
it.
"This is one of my prized collection or pieces," and it's like him as the old
Yeah.
Deadpool, and he throws it
They,
to the
they,
side.
They even did that. They even broke the fourth wall. Like it's a
that's-
shot of DC, but they made fun of the Green Lantern as well. in that
Oh yeah,
movie.
he was
They-
like, "I don't wear green
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
anymore."
don't make me wear CGI
Well,
green
he's-
spandex or something.
At
like
the
that.
beginning of the movie, there's where the car is flipping over or whatever. There is a picture in the wallet of him as Green Lantern.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And his flying through.
yeah.
yeah. It's
So that movie
So,
is just
but
gold.
But
Just
that's
straight
Deadpool's character. Is he breaks the fourth
And I
wall?
Yes.
love it.
Yes,
I love
and
it.
they
I
do it in the movie, and it's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's a great
Well, I
movie.
mean, it even came to the point where Ryan Reynolds took the suit, which apparently you're not allowed to do. But he literally was like, I was waiting 4 years to make this movie. I'm keeping the suit. So he took the suit after it was done.
That's awesome.
And there's like a playlist of different interviews where he is as Wade Wilson. I mean, not always in the suit, but he acts like Wade Wilson, and he's interviewing people, and it's just hilarious.
Well, it's just you found the perfect actor for the right spot.
Ryan Reynolds deserves to be Deadpool.
Yeah.
Nobody else can be Deadpool.
His sense of humor just meshes, so
right.
it starts
movie.
to blur the lines between when he's acting like Wade Wilson and when he's actually being
right. And that was a great movie, and they had good bad guys for it and stuff like that. But yeah, Wolverine ones just
that's why they're gonna
and the X-Men ones, they're so bad.
I think that's why they're gonna fix it with Logan.
They're just so bad.
Because
have you seen the previews for that?
I have seen it. I want to see it. Oh, I wanted to go see a movie with you. We can probably go too.
Wow.
He pointed at me and then just like it decided to include Michael last
because I'm just sitting.
Because he's here. I forgot he was here.
What movie?
I don't know. I want to go see a movie with you. Okay. I have an idea for a thing that I want to do, and we'll talk about that later. But it just came to my mind. Okay. So like a movie soon, and we'll.
Okay. That sounds good. But yeah, I think Logan is going to be really good.
Yeah, I think it will be too.
Because it's going to be passing the torch, and that's going to be cool because X-23 is one of the coolest characters in the Marvel Universe, especially as of like right now because she took up the mantle as Wolverine. Because Wolverine died, and then...
Spoilers.
Oh.
Hey.
Wolverine died in the main comics, not Logan.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
What?
Hey.
What?
Don't do that. You always used to do that. Stop doing that.
Hey.
But yeah.
Just. Okay, you can go.
Okay.
Got it out of his system.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, the mainline Wolverine died, and so X-23 took up the mantle. Okay. And then, in some type of crazy Marvel Universe event, they brought the Old Man Logan from the Old Man Logan storyline and brought him back to the present. So now it's like X-23 training with this old, like, just tired of dealing with everybody's crap Logan and everything like that. And he has to deal with the memories of every mutant dying in his past. So it's like a weird little dynamic that the two have. It's kind of awesome. It's a really good thing.
That'll be fun to see then.
Mm-hmm. And Patrick Stewart, old Patrick Stewart, just talking mess. It's like, she's like 13 and I'm 19. This is bullshit. It's like, I'm like, oh, yes, Patrick Stewart, you're the best. So
Patrick Stewart is amazing.
I love him.
He is amazing.
If anybody out there in the world has something bad to say about him, I will punch them in the face.
It's actually Sir Patrick Stewart.
Or Sir.
Yeah.
Sire Patrick Stewart.
No, just Sir.
Can we get him on the podcast?
Oh, yes. I'm sure we have.
I would love to.
Let me reach out.
It'd be the quietest podcast ever, and he'd just be like, well, is there anybody that's going to talk? Xavier would just be drooling.
It's like I'm
and I would
say, in front of Professor X right now. This is my life.
And then Michael would still be trying to add numbers together in his head. And
61 and 66. I don't know.
But speaking of like Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, there's a show that came out called Legion. Have you guys heard about it?
Haven't seen it, but I do want to.
I heard it's got good reviews.
Okay. Because apparently it's the story of...
Don't look at me like that. I just said it.
It's the story of Charles Xavier's son, who's like a Omega level mutant.
Oh, okay.
And he has the, I guess you could call it like multiple personality disorder, where he has different...
Who doesn't?
Most people.
Most people
don't.
Really?
Yeah, he has
this
like
news.
He has like the different types of mutants in his head.
I told one of you.
So for each like different personality, it has a different power.
Right.
And it's just like it's an interesting concept because now you're just like each episode could be an entirely different character.
Oh, that's a show, right?
Did you ever watch the show Powers?
No.
The PlayStation one? That was pretty good.
I got forced to download it, but I never watched it.
You got forced to download it?
Yeah, I was.
He's like, you will download this
like
or
iTunes,
else.
It's like iTunes with the U2 album. I'm like, I don't listen to U2. Why are you giving me this? I don't want it.
First of all, pre-downloaded on your
dare
PlayStation.
you? YouTube is awesome.
I don't listen to them.
I don't listen to U2 either.
Wait, you don't listen to us too? Like you don't listen to our podcast?
I especially don't listen to you.
What?
That's why we muted you in all the past podcasts. I thought you said you listened. You didn't hear that? That you weren't a part of any of them?
When I listen
like
to
right
it,
now, this is just gonna be me yelling at nobody.
right. When I listen to it, and I hear those blank spaces, I just start talking.
I must be an editing genius if we're only working off of one mic and I can just get him out.
Yeah, just the parts where he's in it.
That's fine.
You can hear us laughing over everyone else is laughing, but David doesn't talk during the podcast. Ever.
It's probably for the best.
It's part of the contract he signed.
It's part of the
contracts?
Yeah.
I signed a contract with
One of
Amber.
his personalities did.
What, that you would stop interrupting?
No, that I would stop interrupting you.
But you're breaking that contract.
I'm not breaking that contract.
You're
right now.
Something
No, I'm not
fierce.
doing it.
You owe someone a lot of money.
The contract was for hugs.
Gross.
Like hand hugs, like this, where you just do this.
That's even worse.
It's also called handshakes. Some people call them
No one handshakes like this.
Is there any other movies coming out that you guys like are interested, or any other video games, anything like that?
Yes, there is.
Okay. You can't just say yes and then point to
then
Michael.
fight to someone else. That's not how this goes. I am.
Besides Mass Effect?
There's Mass Effect, there's For Honor. I might pick up Halo Wars 2.
Okay.
Pretty
you
sure I
like RTSs?
Yeah.
Oh.
I do. I was big into StarCraft when I was a kid. Well,
Okay.
I still play StarCraft from time to time.
Okay.
But,
Real-time strategy.
like
What?
Real-time strategy.
Oh.
That's what RTS stands for.
I was going to ask.
I know you were.
It's like Command and Conquer and
Like,
Age of Empire.
what type of games are those?
Real-time strategy games.
It's like you're over the head building an army with a base and...
Oh, like Warcraft.
Yes.
The first,
like Warcraft.
Yes.
Yeah. Warcraft, StarCraft, Civilization, stuff like that.
I'm lost.
I bet you are.
You said StarCraft and then Dave's mind just blanked.
How can you play those games? I can't for the life of me.
Well, usually you use a mouse and a keyboard.
Smack in the face.
He just can't figure out how to use a mouse and a keyboard at the same time.
Right,
He's
I
asking.
play with controllers.
Yeah.
PC Master Race. I'm just kidding. I have both. I enjoy both.
But how? How do you? I don't see the
Civilization. I have to play with friends that I like, maybe sitting in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's turn based. But when they're not turn based, I kind of enjoy them to the way of it's like how quick can you react to someone else's move.
Mm-hmm.
So it tests your reflex. You gotta remember what unit's good against this certain unit and position your troops. I mean it's kind of fun on a mental level. It kind of keeps you going.
Yeah. I used to play Age of Empires and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was one that got me into it. The first Age of Empires was a lot of fun for me.
You got to build up your main character.
Yeah.
And have him go on this little journey.
We used to play typing cheats and turn the entire enemy force into sheeps.
Never did that one, but we used to get together and do LAN parties together with games like that.
Yeah, those are fun to do LAN parties with, where you you can see the person but not their screen.
Yeah,
and,
a lot of times I just
going.
watch. I sit behind them so that I can just watch their screen and I can have my screen right there.
His screen,
Yeah.
a cheater.
I can never.
I was like, oh, he's building an army there.
It's like
Click,
super
click,
weird.
click.
I can play a boring Japanese role-playing game that I know is boring, but the fighting system's fun and whatnot. I can play that for hours on end. But you sit me in front of I need you to build up resources in an army. I'm like, okay, no.
Did you ever play?
You got to be into it. It's definitely an
acquired
taste. Yeah,
well, I guess it's the same for fighting games because not everybody likes fighting games.
Yeah,
Did you ever play the
Battlezone
Battlezone one?
Oh, wait, what? Who?
Battlezone.
No.
It was basically that game, but you were inside the ships. And you get to control them and stuff like that.
No, I guess.
But you get to go out. It's a really cool game. But the best part about the game is that you could decide to leave the ship and you can get out and you have a sniper rifle and you can snipe somebody else's ship and you can get inside their stuff and you can go inside their base. And
so it's like a real-time strategy that became a first-person shooter?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but the fun thing was we got together and we would play this game and I was terrible at the game, building all this stuff, and my friend, he was really good at building all this stuff, and I had this other friend that was really good at building all this stuff. So I would build the minimal stuff like that, and I would just take my guy out and go snipe things. And if you got 3 kills on the other team, then you win. Didn't matter whether if I can destroy their army, I win, or if I got 3 kills on the main person. So you always want to have your main person back and send all your guys out.
Right. But you just sit there and snipe his main
won
guy.
the game by sniping.
That's like you throwing the halfback toss 90 yards.
By seeing all the
video games.
But you can't tell who it is. It doesn't have a name or anything like that. It's just a regular vehicle out there. But I won the game because I saw all these armies go out, and I saw one guy stay behind, and I was like, "Pop!" And then he goes, "What happened? I think my game froze." And I was like, "I think I just won."
So since you both like real-time strategy, I'm going to ask you, Michael, rather than him because I already played it. Do you play any tactics games like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics, anything like that?
I did play Final Fantasy Tactics, but not Fire Emblem. I'm not familiar with that.
It's essentially like Final Fantasy Tactics. You have your squad, and you go up against somebody else's group of people and stuff like that, and you can make precise movements, have like joint attacks, stuff like that. Like that's another game I can't get into. Like I want to. The character designs are amazing.
I never really got into that game. I did play it, but those kind of turn-based ones like that, I take a little time or another person who's also playing it with me, like co-op or against them in the same room or whatever. But the real-time strategies I enjoy don't have the turns like StarCraft or like
it's just going
Halo
as it's
Wars.
going and stuff like that.
Yeah, and because I don't like the part where you can stop everything, look over the entire map, and then react to it. I like to, there's the fog of war, and as soon as that gets broken, you realize what their defense is made out of. You immediately have to make those changes, or you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
In real time, I like to have to adapt to it. I think that's the fun part for me.
Okay.
They're not my favorite type of game. I prefer MMO.
Okay.
Or a RPG, or a combination of the two.
Yeah, there you go. So, how many MMOs have you played?
Animals? Did you say animals?
MMOs.
Oh, okay. I thought you said, how many animals have you played?
7. No. Not that many. I mean, I was into Elder Scrolls Online for a little while. It was pretty bad. The story of it was horrible.
Okay.
Lack thereof.
There you go.
I guess I should say, because there wasn't one. I mean, there was, but it wasn't like predominant.
Did you play WoW?
No, never got into WoW. I played.
It's whoa.
I played Diablo instead.
I'm gonna ignore you.
I'm choosing to ignore you. I played Diablo as my RPG then.
Okay.
I didn't get into WoW.
Okay. Yeah, those are one of the things I was kind of afraid of because, like, I knew that I do have an addictive personality when it comes to a game that I like.
Me and you avoided it for the same reason.
Yeah, it's like I played Final Fantasy and I was like addicted to it for a while, but then I was like, playing with my friends, they just got ahead of me, and they're all like, I'm level 50 or 60 and stuff like that. It's like because you guys have more time on your hands. I'm over here, I'm like, I gotta work. And I just don't want to pay for this.
Back even when I didn't, I knew Diablo was enough. Like when I was in high school, Diablo 2 came out. And, I mean, every night I was down here playing it, in the... every night after school or, cross country or whatever. I was down here, I was playing that game. That was it. That's all I did. Super addicted to it. And so I knew if I got into something as big as WoW, where it was like
you would lose your life.
world worth of content,
your life.
I was gonna stop going to school. I was gonna stop going to cross country. Like there was only one more step I had to take, and I would have been gone from civilization.
It's like, do I cross that line to losing my entire life?
Because I definitely didn't have the self-control to just be like, okay, 2 hours a night.
Yeah.
It was like when I got home, I played until I was told to go to bed.
Oh, you got told? I didn't get told.
Oh, I got told. It got to the point where it was like I would wake my parents up and they'd come running downstairs and go to bed.
Because you're yelling?
Yeah, because I would get like mad at the game or whatever. I'd get excited about it and I would yell, but... Yeah, because their room's directly above where the computer was, so any noise would wake them up.
Yeah, with me it was like, I was like, I had my own PlayStation in my room, and it's like when I first had like the first Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. So I'm in my room, and it's like I get home from school, I try, and I really didn't do my homework, I'm not gonna lie. And
Me either.
I was in my room, and next thing I know, it's like, oh, it's 2:00 in the morning, and I have to get up in 4 hours for school.
Right.
It's like, well, I better go to bed now.
I was also
It's
playing
terrible.
Diablo back in the days where if I got on the internet, there was no phone service in the house.
Oh, dial-up?
Dial-up, yeah.
Oh,
so that kind of limited my playtime too, because I would have to ask to take the phone completely offline so that I could be online. And then, eventually the parents need to make a call or whatever, so I'd have to log off and shut it down. But it was
dial-up.
Yeah, dial-up internet. I can. You still got the sound of the dial-up.
Oh, everybody
playing right now.
Yeah.
Everybody that's ever had to deal with dial-up has that
noise that it makes. Yeah.
In their heads.
Drives me mad.
Anytime you say the word dial-up, that's the tone that automatically comes to your head,
right.
And you're just like, stop! Don't say that. That's like. That'd be like torture to somebody if you just kept...
Yeah, nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. That's how you should do torture from now on.
Just play dial-up noises. Tell us where your boss is or else. Start the AOL Messenger.
Yeah.
With the little guy running with the envelope.
Right.
This is inhumane! It's 2017! Why are you still
just keep playing and just saying, you can't get your email.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They have
we can't get online.
Well, I remember,
we're still trying to connect.
You could log on to Yahoo or Gmail or whatever now and set up a email address.
I still have one.
So easily, right now.
I still have an AOL
I remember
account.
when my parents were setting up the email for the family, we had to have someone come out from the company and show us how to do it. And I forget who it was. It was before like AOL became huge, or
right.
for Messenger. Or
when
whatever.
they were handing out the floppy disk.
Yeah,
I remember getting 80 of those in the mail.
Yeah, they were like, use us.
They're like, take our crack.
First samples on us.
Come online. Join us.
But it was...
we're happy.
Who was it through? I can't remember the company now.
CompuServe?
Might be. I can't remember now, but we all had our email address, and it was .net or whatever.
Yeah.
But you had to pay a monthly subscription to use this email.
Oh, that's terrible.
And someone had to come out and set it up for you, and it was just. And now you think about, I could go set up a Yahoo account for my dog right now and not pay anyone or.
I thought you had one for your dog.
No, not yet.
Then why have I been emailing him?
Why are you emailing his dog?
I've been sending him
weird.
dog pictures.
She's not of age. You leave my dog.
It's pictures of my dog. I thought
She's still not of age. You leave my dog alone.
My dogs are very friendly. My dogs are this big. They're about the size of a nickel.
Why do you have nickel-sized dogs?
Because there's we have 3 of them, and we're planning to put them together and make a decent-sized dog
You're
out
gonna
of
make a
it.
Cerberus.
Huh?
You're gonna make a Cerberus.
A Cerberus.
You don't know what a Cerberus is?
See, I've been playing Mass Effect, so that means something completely different.
Yeah.
You guys don't know anything about mythology? You gues never watched the Disney movie Hercules?
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
the three-headed dog?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I knew that, but
Sorry, I was
just letting
thinking
you
like
talk.
the human rights.
Why do you all the time?
Why are you so angry at me right
I'm not
now?
angry, I'm disappointed.
Are you?
I guess
Because I didn't know, or because I did know and I wasn't telling you?
Because you didn't know.
I did know.
It's Kubo all over again.
Yeah.
No, I guess it's different because when I was younger in the 5th and 6th grade, I was crazy into mythology. Because my teacher showed us, just had this book of constellations, and threw my mind in a loop because I was like, oh, all these constellations make a connects the dots figure,
right?
And each of these has a story, and I'm curious about it, so I got really into astrology and mythology, and I was deep in there where I even started going outside of Greek and because Greek and Roman are practically interchangeable, and then you can go into
It gets all weird when she gets into Canadian mythology.
What would Canadian mythology be?
They just say A at the end of everything.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Same story. She just say A at the end.
No.
No, A.
Why do you look so angry right now?
Because you're horrible.
And that would be no, A.
I think that's a good place to break, don't you? David's driving us all insane.
Yeah.
Could use a few minutes, a little open air. Walk around a little bit.
Is that what you guys call it? This? Well, this is our therapy session.
This is therapy.
Then you owe me a lot of money.
As far as I'm concerned, when I go to therapy, I'm supposed to feel good when I leave, not angry.
What?
You don't go to therapy until you literally can't stand the therapist
anymore.
That's
right. That's right. I was trying to get you to therapy.
For that. I already go to therapy because of you.
Oh, cool. I'm happy about that. That's a good note to end on.
Yeah. All right, guys.
I thought Michael was wrapping this up.
Michael, wrap it up.
Oh, okay. Thanks for joining us on Nailed It. I've been Michael.
I've been Xavier.
I still am David.
There it is.
That's
You
all
wait
we-
until the end of the podcast to do it.
See, this is why we normally take a break than do the ending,
Nailed
because we're
it.
not still mad at David.
Damn it. And I
But
hate
anyway.
that works. I hate.
Wait, what are you doing? We haven't ended this yet.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us on this episode.
You have subscribe.
Yeah, please hit the subscribe button on the iTunes app
Leave
or the
comments.
podcast app, and that'll help us out. If you guys want to leave a review, 5 stars, 1 stars, whatever.
Did you spend that?
Like you can
Yeah, I
have,
broke this a
you
while
can
ago.
have 3 stars or a half star if you can get that. Leave a comment. Also, Geeks and Gamers, check us out on
Make sure
YouTube.
to check that out. And if
And-
you go to our Facebook page at FTD Nailed It, that'll take you straight to our Facebook page where you can like that. You can watch, or you can find all of our episodes of our podcast.
You can
on
like
there.
it and leave bad comments too.
You
can
could
say,
do that also.
I like
You
this,
could leave
but I
little
hate
angry
everything they
faces.
do.
Also, last thing, email us at nailedit@gmail.com. We want to start reading questions on the podcast.
Wait,
which-
you want them to start reading questions on the podcast?
Is that what I said?
Yes, you
I
did.
apologize. We want to start reading your questions on the podcast. I
Or
want to-
comments, or what
or comments.
advice,
I
whatever
want
you
to
guys
see
got.
what you guys think of us. And
I give great love advice.
no, you don't. and we will.
I'll take the under
hopefully,
on
if
that.
you guys send enough emails, maybe we can get David to stop interrupting everybody.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we'll have enough
if-
content.
If we have enough emails, I will.
It's like a Kickstarter foundation.
Yeah, this is a Kickstarter thing.
We could raise some serious money.
We're gonna
there,
kickstart David.
No,
to
no,
make sure he stops
we're not going to
interrupting.
try to make any money. We're just trying to raise emails.
Thank you for joining us. I'm going to cut it here before we get interrupted anymore and drag on the
I
end
mean,
of our
that-
podcast
yes,
any
exactly.
longer. Xavier, press the button.
We'll talk to you
Bye.
guys later.